Welcome back to the 9 News Business Buzz. I'm Ryan Frazier, 9 News business expert. In the last hour, we looked at the macro level data driving Colorado's tourism economy. Now we're zeroing in on operators on the ground. If you run a business in a mountain town, you are currently navigating a historic 24% drop in winter skier visits, a massive squeeze on short-term rental regulations, and shifting consumer travel habits. Here to share the business strategy on how to survive and even scale in this environment is Jim Deters, CEO of Gravity Haus. Jim, welcome back on the program.
Ryan, thanks for having me. Great to be here.
Always great to have you and so many exciting things happening for Gravity Haus in general, but the industry also, Jim. I want to start with kind of where we've been before we talk about where we're going. The numbers are tough. Skier visits dropped 24% this winter, the lowest we've seen since the early 90s. When you run a business in a mountain town and the snow just doesn't show up, how do you adapt your business so you aren't completely dependent on the weather?
Well, you know, watching the entry to the segment and the sad pictures of the mountainsides with the lack of snow it's sad to see. 9 million fewer visitors, skier visitors this year, creates a dramatic impact on the community, our business, all the local small businesses and people that live in these communities that depend on that revenue. It evaporated, right? So the community felt a really big pain with the revenues and those fewer visitors each year. From our specific perspective, it becomes about controlling cost, right? Which in general, in the industry, you have increasing costs, insurance, labor, et cetera. Margins are getting pushed and flexing out that much revenue loss becomes very, very challenging. And of course, everybody across our mountain communities felt the pain of a really horrible meteorological season.
Yeah, I mean, did you guys take any steps other than just trying to manage your costs to try to adapt, to try innovative ways to draw visitors or anything different that worked?
Well, you probably heard for the tourism board, Tim, group business has actually been pretty solid for us. We still are seeing a lot of great group travel business, the business traveler and the small event looking for unique places, outdoor places and bespoke independent hotels. That demand really saved us, I would say, that we do see a pretty strong demand in that regard, and we continue to see the business traveler and business event traveler coming to our communities.
And I want to talk about another cost, or at least as I see it, that you many others in your industry have all dealt with, and that's lodging taxes. Now, we are seeing mountain towns redirect millions in lodging taxes away from tourism and towards local housing and roads. Good causes, of course. Yep. At the same time, it's getting harder to run, you know, everything from Airbnb to VRBOs. With all these changes, why do you believe, for instance, your membership model is a better way for people to experience the mountains compared to owning a second home?
That's a great question. And look, the industry in these towns are facing, and the ski industry at large is facing some very structural challenges, right? The affordability, the accessibility, the ability to sort of redirect taxes to help solve those issues is something that probably makes a lot of sense. At the same time, if you take the different perspective, from a consumers, we don't like getting nickeled and diamond. We don't like to see an additional tax added to our hotel bill, or this pet bill added, or this resort fee added to our bill. And at Gravity Haus, part of what we tried to solve from our community and the membership program was to try to make things easier, right? And of course, we're in multiple states across the West now, very predominantly in Colorado, but Utah, Wyoming, Montana, California, now Washington State, trying to hit that easy button to make something affordable where your gear can live, to take some of the nuisances and inconvenience and cost of it, removing the resort fees, any of the HOA fees, the second home ownership. Funds shouldn't be out of reach anymore. And all these inflationary pressures and these costs of incremental nickel and diming things, we want to try to make that more accessible and more available than just trying to be stuck saying, well, maybe I should do something different because of all the nuisances and inconvenience and cost of getting to ski and the ski pass and the lodging. Maybe I should take a different type of trip, or maybe I go to a different state for a different type of beach experience. And I think as a state and as a business that operates a lot of hotels in the state, it's something we need to consider as we create inconveniences and cost. People might move to substitute offerings.
Now, I want to pivot a little bit here to your expansion. We've talked about the winter, and let's talk a little bit about as we look ahead. Summer's upon us, opportunities in front of us, we hope,
Yes.
at least. So the U.S. Rockies had a tough winter, as we mentioned before. Your company just expanded into Canada for the first time. For everyday Coloradans that are watching, for that matter, for everyday people who are watching, explain the business strategy here. Why does expanding from Colorado and other states that you operate in to Canada make so much sense?
Yeah, well, at a big vision, our goal is to galvanize this outdoor lifestyle modern adventure. And the modern adventure, even of course us that live here in the state, we're extremely mobile. In fact, one of the big trends of ski pass holders is willing to chase the weather, to chase the patterns, and to pick up a British Columbia Revelstoke destination. It was something we heard from our community over and over as a destination that would be extremely sought after. The Canadian Rockies and Revelstoke, one of the largest vertical drops in the state, and this season, the La Nina snow pattern favored them. Canada had a great ski season. So if you had a Gravity House membership, and in this case, an Icon Pass, you had an amazing opportunity to go ski one of the best ski destinations in North America. And I think we'll continue to see our type of community and other ski pass holders that are going to follow the weather in this more challenged environment. The weather patterns will shift, and those that want to chase the powder, they're happy to fly up to Canada.
I mean, it sounds like diversifying, if you will, your
For sure.
portfolio not only takes advantage of where perhaps the weather may be better, right, and the opportunities there, but I think it also perhaps, and you tell me if I'm wrong here, Jim, but it also ensures that maybe your locations in states like Colorado that didn't have as good a season, you know, you're able to be a little more flexible by having that diversity. So keeping those options alive, but even
100%. Diversifying from our core business perspective, having a diverse set of locations that will manage the seasonality and different seasonality of the patterns as well as weather patterns. Look, you will see us be working on some beach locations ourselves and some surf destinations. Our community likes to surf and be on the ocean or water just as much as they like ski destinations. So you will continue to see us expand, as we have now up to 13 properties with the recent addition into the state of Washington.
We got so much more we could talk about, Jim. The era of relying solely on heavy snowfall and traditional real estate models in our mountain towns is clearly evolving, forcing operators to get creative with how they build sustainable business. Jim Deters, CEO of Gravity House, thanks so much for joining us again on the program. For the 9 News Business Buzz, I'm Ryan Frazier. Have a great week.